It's essential to know what our mission, purpose, and what actually matters to us as a man in a relationship so that we can continue to be that man, even if it means us saying no to our partner. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Fam Life with Phil Gomez on the Rising Man podcast. Got another good one for you guys today. We're going to be going over the 6 keys to thriving in a long-term committed relationship. Now, if you're a man out there who has a serious girlfriend, maybe a wife, maybe you guys have a family, maybe not. If you are in a long-term committed relationship, you know it ain't easy. And if you've been in one before, you know it's not easy. It takes work, it takes attention, it takes focus, it takes care. And oftentimes you find yourself in a position where you notice that things are not as they should be. They're not very good, but you might not know what you need to do in order to make it better. Now, I know I have found myself in that position many of times. I've been with my wife for about 9 years now, and I know for sure I find myself in that to this day. What's going on? Why are things off? Why is she upset at me? Why is she feeling unsafe? Right? And then I forget that I have a playbook that I can go back to and look at and then apply to my relationship. And that is the 6 keys. So a little context behind the 6 keys. They have been adapted from a man named Justin Sterling, who has a workshop called the Men's Weekend, and it's something that I took several years ago. Now I don't know exactly how many, but quite a while ago. It was one of the first workshops that I actually took around men's work, and it was a phenomenal workshop. I would say it's not for everyone, and it was very life-changing for me. So definitely look into it if it's piquing your interest. But there was a distinction in there that was the 6 tasks to surviving a long-term committed relationship. And that's where these were adopted from. So just want to pay homage to Justin Sterling and his community, his organization for initially bestowing me with these tasks that have absolutely helped me thrive in my relationship with my wife. And I have worked with many men who either I have gone over the 6 keys with them or they have done the weekend themselves. And I know for a fact that it has given myself and them direction in how to move forward and actually how to be the best partner possible in a relationship. Now, if you are anything like me, or most of the men that I have worked with and talked to, relationship can be a difficult thing. It's there's the courting phase, which might be a little bit easier in the sense of gaining interest, right? Impressing a woman or a partner, kind of that initial phase. And then once it gets past that and you get into that like long-term phase, there comes a lot more that is required and requires your focus, attention, and excellence in order to not only maintain the relationship, but actually grow and enable the relationship to thrive. So that's where the 6 keys come in. Now, each and every one of these could use their own podcast episode. I could talk for easily an hour about each and every one of these distinctions. We're going to go over all of them in this episode just to plant the seed. And my intention is just to give you men out there something, a playbook that you can at least begin to study and focus on so that it can help your relationship starting today. So let's get into the 6 keys to thriving in a long-term committed relationship. The first one is give a fuck, don't expect a fuck. So in short, it's really show your partner that you care without expecting something in return. Now, this going for all humans, in this society, it can be really easy to only want to do something if there's a certain end game, right? If there's something to benefit from that effort that you're going to put out. And we can often get into this cycle. We can often get into this pattern and way of being in relationship too. And our partners know us really well. If you've been with your partner for several years, if you've been with your partner for a while, they know you really well. They know when you're scheming. They know when you're plotting. They know when you're up to something or you want to get something from them, right? So even when we think we're being slick, they probably know that we are being extra nice or doing something, out of the ordinary, because a request, an ask, desire is going to come up after that. So it's not limited to just wanting sex from your partner, right? It can be wanting anything from them. So the idea here of give a fuck without expecting a fuck is to genuinely show interest, desire, and a willingness to support your partner without ever expecting anything in return. Now, another thing that comes up here is keeping score, right? Oftentimes we'll do the dishes, cook dinner, support your partner in going out and doing something just by themselves with their friends, fold the laundry, whatever it may be, doing something either around the house or for life, to support your partner in just being happy or doing something to take care of themselves. We'll do those things and then we'll keep a tally. Oh, well, I've cooked dinner 4 days this week and she hasn't done anything. You know what? I deserve to be able to go out with the guys tonight. And then you go to ask for that thing. Hey, hon, can you watch the kids while I go out with the guys tonight? And she says no. And then in comes the tally. Well, I did the dishes. I did, I've done all this stuff for you and you're not going to let me do this one thing. This is another way that we give a fuck while expecting a fuck, instead of doing something just because we want to support and love our partner and we want to enable this relationship to flourish. So again, give a fuck without expecting a fuck. Show your partner that you care. Do things to support them without expecting anything in return. This is all about giving 110% at all times without a motive. So that's one. Key number 2, be the master of your territory by knowing what is yours to defend. Now, when the word defend comes in here, I oftentimes men that I've worked with around the 6 keys don't really like that, because it makes them think of it as a fight, makes them think like they're fighting with their partner. And defending is not, in this case, I don't hold it as fighting, right? I hold it as knowing what your boundaries are and knowing what really matters to you as a person. Right. So the key word that comes with this is terms. So let me talk a little bit about terms. Terms are something that every man ought to have. We actually all do have, whether we know it or not. Terms are the things that make us who we are. So, for example, when someone talks about me, when someone says, describes me as a man, oh, Phil is definitely a man of ceremony. Oh, Phil really cares about men's work. Oh, Phil is dedicated, hardworking, loves his family. These are my terms. How would someone describe me, right? And it's essential that when we're thinking of our terms, we're trying to define them, that we think of the things that we do, that if we did not do them, we would not be who we are, right? So if I just started going out with, going out on the town every night and just coming home super late and not spending any time with my children, not spending any time with my wife, that would not be me, right? I would be a completely different person. So family and spending time with my family, being the provider, not just financially, but emotionally and safety wise for my family, is one of my terms. Right. So in order to be the master of our territory, we have to know what is ours to defend. We have to know what our terms are. So what this would look like practically is, again, I am a provider for my family. This is actually one of my terms, right? So one element that I provide for my family is financially. And it is essential to me that I am able to financially provide for my family so that, we can take care of the things that need to be taken care of, so that my son can go to preschool, so we can have groceries in the house, so we can have, whatever it may be, all the things that we need financially, right? And part of that for me as well is so that my wife is able to actually do work that is meaningful and purposeful for her, so that she doesn't have to just go out and get a job just to make ends meet over here. So this is one of my terms. I provide for my family. So where it comes to the importance of defining that is I then know how to navigate our day-to-day situation, specifically in the relationship. So sometimes it will come to, say, it's Friday, right? And my wife really wants to take a weekend trip, go camping, and take the kids and just like go spend time, have fun. And, I'm like, wow, that sounds really fun. I would love to do that. However, I know that I have a client that I have to work with on Friday afternoon, and I know that there's a workshop that's going on Saturday that I really need to do in order to bring the finances to make what we need for the month, right? So again, at this point, I'm looking at what's mine to defend, or I'm looking at my terms so I know what my territory is. So this is this thing that she wants to do is going to start to cut into what I am defining myself as, which is the provider for my family. So it's clearly has to be a no for me if I'm going to honor who I am as a man. It's essential to know what our mission, purpose, and what actually matters to us as a man in a relationship so that we can continue to be that man, even if it means us saying no to our partner. Now, I know for myself, this was extremely difficult, especially in the beginning of my relationship. Maybe not the first couple months, but first 2 years in, I always wanted to make my partner happy. Right? I loved when she was happy, and I loved to oblige with what she wanted, to the point where I would actually stop doing the things that enabled me to attract her in the first place. Right? So going a little bit more into that, I know from my wife, because she's told me that when we first met, she loved my drive. Right? At that point, I had a physical therapy business and I was really committed to making that work. She loved my drive, my passion. She loved my commitment to what I was up to, all these things. And those were the things that really made her attracted to me and saw me as a good man and I guess a suitable partner. So now fast forward, 8-9 years later, we're in the relationship and I'm starting to say no to those things, work, the things that I'm really committed to and care about for the sake of making her happy. Maybe she'll be happy in the moment, but she starts to lose respect or I start to not actually be the man that she initially fell in love with and really admired. Right. So that's what's essential about us knowing what is ours, knowing our terms, and being willing to stand up for our terms at all times, even if it means our partner is going to be upset. So again, be the master of your territory by knowing what is yours to defend. Know your territory, know your terms, be able to recall your terms at a drop of a dime, and be able to make decisions related to the relationship based on, is this going to cause me to go against my terms and actually be someone who I am not? Or is this something that I have to say no to in order to honor the man that I truly am? So going to the third one, this is on the flip side of that. Fight to fulfill your partner's plan without compromising your terms. So again, we've defined terms. These are the things that make us who we are as men. These are the things that people would describe us as. These are the things that if we did not do, we would not be the man that we are now. Right? So fight to fulfill your partner's plan without compromising your terms. So my wife, same scenario. She wants to go camping. Right. She wants to go set up the tent on a beautiful alpine lake and have an incredible weekend where we're just, roasting s'mores, having fun, making love in the tent, having fun with the kids, all those things, like a nice, beautiful, romantic weekend away from home. Right. Now I look and I'm like, well, I don't have anything this weekend. Maybe it'd be a little difficult to do that because, there's a couple things that I kind of want to do, a couple posts that I want to make for the week or whatever it may be. There's a couple things I could do, right? But there's actually nothing that's, I'm not compromising my terms by doing this. There's no pre-existing commitments that I have. All those things I could either do, during the week leading up to it and just get ahead for next week, or they can wait till we get back. Right. So yes, babe, we can do that. And not only can we do that, I am going to fight, or I'm going to go above and beyond to make sure we can do that. Right. So what that looks like is, first, again, checking in. This does not compromise any of my terms. 2, this is what you want to do. Okay. 3, I'm going to fight to fulfill that plan. I am going to go above and beyond. Okay. Hey, what do you want to eat? I think you really liked when I made that stir fry last time we went camping. Do you want that? Awesome. I'm gonna go to the grocery store, get that. Oh, while I'm here, I'm gonna get a little dessert too, and I won't tell her about it. It'll be a nice surprise. I'm gonna make sure I pack the car a day early so she doesn't have to worry about it while she's with the kids. Again, the fighting to fulfill the plan is the essential part here, because this is us showing not only that we care, but what our partners want to do is important to us, right? Just saying yes to camping and then kind of dragging ass the whole time that we're preparing and just showing, kind of just showing up, just being there physically is not enough, right? That's not how a relationship is going to thrive. By hearing what our partners want and using our masculine skill set to problem solve, plan, make, take action, and execute is where we can really help our partners feel safe, taken care of, loved, and really appreciated, that we respect and admire what it is that they want to do as well. It's essential. It's key. When they see that, they really know that we love them. All right, going on to key number 4. Be a willing and active listener, especially when you don't want to. I'll say it again. Be a willing and active listener, especially when you don't want to. Now, if you are anything like me, which I'm sure most of you are, because I'm definitely not unique or special, there's a lot of times where you just don't want to listen to your partner. You don't care. You're tired. You've had 50 million other things to do. You just got home from work. You just want to kick it on the couch for a sec, take your shoes off and chill. And she started to talk to you about some difficulties that she's had in her day. It is a moment where you don't want to listen. Here's the thing. Even in those times, we got to listen. Not only do we have to listen, we have to be a willing and active listener. Listening is essential because for women and, for some men too, a big part of how we process is by sharing, right? Is by actually speaking what it is we're going through, what's going on in our heads, what's going on in our lives, what's going on in our bodies. By speaking it to someone else, especially our partner, us, that they care about, that they trust and feel safe with, enables them to heal in a sense. It enables them to decompress, get out of their own heads, and actually process, deal with the things that are there so that they don't have to carry it on to the next moment, to the next day, to the next week, right? So them sharing is really a beautiful opportunity for us to be in full support and service to them. Now, like I said, as I initially dropped this key, there are many times I don't feel like listening. Right. There are many times where I just feel tired and I just feel like full. So there's ways to navigate that. One is take a moment and take a deep breath and just dive into active listening. So active listening looks like not only hearing what they're saying, but maybe mirroring back what you hear, asking questions based on what you hear, and really just seeing how you can support them. Right. I think a lot of times where we get into trouble, I get into trouble as a man, is that I'll be active listening, but I'm really just listening to how I can fix this so we can end the conversation and move forward to the next thing. Right. Looking for the solution, just trying to give my partner a solution to her problems. And this is probably one of the number one ways that we get into fights, and that she gets frustrated with me and really just pissed off because it's disrespectful in a sense, right? It's me saying, "Oh, you don't know the solution to your problems? I do. You just need to listen to me. I know more than you," and done. Not a big deal, right? It's really downplaying whatever might be a huge deal to them. So in our active listening, in our question asking, in our mirroring, and in our clear question of how can I support you more right now, we are able to be the help that our partners need in that moment. We're able to be the help they need in that moment because we're not doing what we think they need. We're actually asking what they need and then being that. When it comes to those moments where you're really too full, maybe I know for me, when I first get home from work, I just want to put my bag down, right? I want to put my stuff away. I want to take my shoes off. I just want to put some comfy clothes on. What I've been able to do with my wife is really just specifically ask for, babe, hey, when I get home, can you give me just 10 minutes? Like, can I just have 10 minutes to put my stuff down, put some comfy clothes on, put my shorts on, take off my work clothes and, whatever, wash my face, something like that, whatever it is that I actually need to ground and be home. And once we had that conversation, it was a huge difference. Prior to that conversation, I would get home and what my interpretation was, I would get bombarded with questions, things from her day and all these things, and just feel like I was still just in work mode, right? And still just like there's nothing more that I wanted than just to chill for a sec. So that clear request of being able to have 10 minutes when I got home has enabled me to be a active and willing listener for my partner when I get home. So there are times and places where we actually cannot be an active and willing listener, right? And the key is that I found is to clearly state that to your partner. Babe, I am really not feeling well. My stomach hurts. My head really hurts. I'm feeling a little under the weather. I'm really overwhelmed from this call that I just got off, whatever it may be. Clearly expressing what it is you're feeling. From there, saying, I'm feeling this way. And you know what? I really am just having a difficulty being fully present for you right now. And I really would love to be. And I'm having a really tough time to do that right now. So is there a way we could do this later? Right. So it's this establishing of what you're feeling, establishing that you know what she wants, but you're not able to give that right now, and establishing the willingness to do it soon, to do it later. Hey, babe, I'm having a really tough time doing it right now, but if I could just go on like a 30-minute walk, if I could go to the gym for an hour, can we talk about this and pick this up like as soon as I get back? I think when we're able to do that, we're able to clearly establish not only our needs, but our willingness and desire to be a willing and active listener for them. All right, going to number 5. Share your emotions, don't lead with them. Share your emotions, do not lead with them. So a lot of men, especially if you're listening to this podcast, you're probably on the journey of becoming a more comprehensive man, a man who's emotionally available, a man who not only is active and in his physical body, but also in his emotional body and his spiritual body, right? So if you're in that process of being more connected to and feeling your emotions more, you know that emotions are big, right? Emotions are tough to handle. Emotions are powerful in the sense that they can really dictate our actions, our words, and our thoughts in the moment. So you probably have heard from your wife, you never tell me what's going on. You probably have heard, you never let me know how you're feeling. You never share your emotions with me. Now, a lot of us take that as an invitation to then lose our composure, right? Because like, okay, you want to see my emotions here? I'm pissed off from A, B, C, and D. I want to break something. I'm just like I'm in rage right now, right? So this would be leading with our emotions. When we're fully taken over by our emotions and we bring that to our relationship, it compromises the safety that our partner needs, right? So just to ground this thing a little bit, I asked my boss for a raise, yesterday, and he got back to me today and he said no. And he said no despite me staying late all these days, these last couple months, and, being one of the best performers on the team and doing all this. And he still fucking said no. He still said no. So I'm pissed about that. And then I bring that rage, that anger, that frustration back home. Right. And then I kind of let that out. So because she wants to know what I'm feeling, right? So you let that out. So that's leading with your emotions. That's bringing all that home and letting your emotions take over everything in your body, take over your words, take over everything that you're expressing outwardly. So that's leading with our emotions. So what does sharing our emotions look like? So for me, this is why a men's team has been so essential for me. Using that same example of going, not getting the raise that I wanted. Maybe I'll call up someone on my men's team on my drive home from work, right? Hey, dude, I had to give you a call, man. I am so fucking pissed about my boss not really honoring all the work that I've been doing. And I just been busting my ass doing this, this and that. And yelling right on the phone. This is on the drive home from work. My buddy's able to hear that, hold that. Hey, I understand your frustration, man. That really sucks. You know what? That would piss me off too. Hey, how long have you been doing all this stuff? Whatever, couple months. Huh. Well, it's still the middle of the year. So maybe you could talk to your boss a little bit more and you can tell him what you want to see by the end of the year. Huh. Okay. Yeah, man, that sounds like a good idea. Maybe I'm still feeling the burn a little bit, but I'm seeing, I guess, a light at the end of the tunnel. I'm seeing an alternative solution to just me being pissed and yelling and really essentially ending up in the same situation that I'm at now. So I've been able to process my emotions outside of the relationship. I've been able to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and now I am home. So what most of us do is, babe, how was your day? Right? Wife asks us, it was good. Don't say anything, even if we still have some of that afterburn going on from what had pissed us off. Sharing our emotions would look like, you know what, babe? Man, I had this really tough conversation with my boss today, and I asked him for that raise and he didn't give it to me, and I just I felt so upset. I felt like I just wasn't valued, right? I felt like he just totally didn't look at anything that I had been doing, and it really made me angry. It really made me angry, right? This is sharing our emotions. So I'm not withholding anything from my partner. It actually makes her feel safer because she knows that I have these emotions that are going through me that I'm able to share from a grounded and collected space. Right. And I've honored my emotions because I've let them out and share them with someone outside of our relationship, with a man from my men's team. Right. So sharing our emotions means being fully transparent about what's going on. But that emotion isn't our context. Right. That emotion isn't the thing that I'm exuding in the home that actually, makes my wife feel fearful. All right. So this is what sharing our emotions does. It enables them in. Right. They feel like they're part of our team. They feel like they are related to us. They feel like we trust them. Right. And they still feel safe because we're not drunk on our emotions. Right. We're not totally consumed by our emotions. And therefore, it's unpredictable what it is that we're going to do or how we're going to lash out or how we're going to express them. So that's the power of sharing your emotions. And on to the sixth key, the last and definitely not least, be creative and proactive with the way you make your partner feel special and taken care of. So this is an essential one, guys. This comes back to dating your wife or dating your partner, right? When we're in the beginning of the relationship, we're really good at just doing things that are spontaneous, right? Hey, what are you doing at 7? Nothing? Okay, be ready. I'll pick you up then, right? take her out on some sort of surprise date, doing something that's a little different off the cuff, right? We're really good at, I don't know, sending her flowers, right? When we're dating, doing all these things to kind of impress them and make them feel like, wow, this guy really cares about me. Wow, this guy's different. He's special. And somewhere between that initial phase of dating and to wherever you are now, you probably have let that slip a little bit. I definitely have, and do it all the time. If you're a parent or you're soon to be parent, this definitely happens once you have kids, and you see it all the time on TV. It's just like one of those stereotypes. We forget to date our partners. We forget to be creative and proactive with showing them that they're special to us and that we really care for them and that we're going to take care of them. So what this looks like, a lot of times guys thinks this has to be like some sort of huge gesture, some grand gesture. All right, well, I am going to take them to Greece for a week, right? But I don't have enough money to do that. So I'm going to plan for that in 2 years, and we'll make it happen. Then she's going to see how much I care for her and how special she is to me. Now, the grand gestures are beautiful. I think they're essential, and they have their space as well, right? And our partners love them, and it shows them that we care for them. And it's not the only way that we can do it. That's not the only way that we have to do it, right? Showing that we care and showing that they're special to us can look really small too. It can be as simple as bringing flowers home, right? For no reason, not for your anniversary, not for the birthday, just like bringing flowers home because you were thinking of them, right? It could be, might be as simple as doing the laundry and folding all the clothes and putting them all away, right? It's a small one, but hey, maybe your wife is tired, right? Maybe she's tired with being with the kids. Maybe she's tired with this and that. She has a big day tomorrow. Boom. Maybe it's just waking up early and making her favorite breakfast. This is one of my go-tos. My wife loves huevos rancheros. So I'll, every once in a while, just like make sure we have all the things for it. And I'll wake up on a Saturday and try to get it cooked before she wakes up, right? And she comes downstairs and it's ready. It can look like cleaning out her car, just vacuuming it and making it clean and nice and all that, right? So the idea is that you're thinking of them, for one, that you've been listening to them because you know what's important, you know what they care about, you know what they need, and that you go out of your way and take the time to actually make it happen, right? This is what being proactive is. Creative in that it's something new. You're not just getting her flowers every Monday, right? That's kind of takes away from the whole gist of what this is about, right? So creative in the sense that you're constantly doing different things, right? And proactive in the sense that you're doing it before it gets to the point where it's like, you never take me out on a date. Before it gets to the point where like, you never really show me that you care, that you love me. Doing it before they have to ask you for something, right? So this is one that I love, and it's also one that I love consulting with some of my really good friends about, because all of us have our different ways of being romantic, right? All of us have our different ways of showing that we care and showing that we love our partners. So, I've gotten some incredible ideas from other men that I would have never thought of. Put a post-it note on the bathroom mirror right before you go to work, so that when she wakes up, she sees it. Put something on the pillow, whatever, many different things. So there's a beauty in this one because we can really crowdsource from the men that we care about, who we love and trust, and see what they think or what they've done. And then we swap notes, and then we're all able to be proactive about showing our partners that they are special to us and that we absolutely care about them. So the key with this one is date your partner, fellas. It doesn't matter how long you've been together. Don't lose the opportunity to really date them, go above and beyond and show them that you care, because that's what's essential for them. So those are the 6 keys. I'll go through them one more time. Give a fuck. Don't expect to fuck. 2, be the master of your territory by knowing what is yours to defend. 3, fight to fulfill your partner's plan without compromising your terms. 4, be a willing and active listener, especially when you don't want to. 5, share your emotions and don't lead with them. And 6, be creative and proactive with the way you make your partner feel special and taken care of. These are the 6 keys to thriving in a long-term committed relationship. So I know I went through these fast. Like I said, I could spend easily an hour on each one of these things, talking about them, really feathering them out, and just like talking about ways to actually enact them in your life and why they're essential in a relationship. But the idea with this episode was to really give you guys the 6 keys, and for you then to start to look for ways you can enact them in your relationship so that you can help your relationship today, so that you can help your relationship thrive a little bit more, so you can feel the fire, the passion, and really just have a game plan for how to show your partner that you're a solid man who absolutely loves them, who is absolutely here for them, and is really willing to do whatever it takes in order to make sure this relationship thrives, because it's really important to you. It's essential for our partners to see that, fellas. They got to see that this matters to us as much as it matters to them. They got to see that we're 110% in, and they got to see that we value them. I think that's like the biggest thing. When men value something, we put time, attention, and care into that thing. And oftentimes in relationship, we save it for later, right? Oh, my partner loves me. We're in love, right? I'll get to that later. This thing is really, really important. This thing at work is really, really important. So I'm just going to focus on that. Once I get over this hump, once I get over this project, once this thing's in the rear view mirror, I'll focus on my relationship. We keep doing that, and a week goes by, a month goes by, a year goes by, 10 years go by, and we haven't given our relationship the attention, love, and care that it deserves, and we lose our partners. We lose the person that matters most to us because we didn't make time for them, right? We didn't make time for the relationship in the way that it really needed in order to flourish. So relationships take a lot of work. I know that. Being in one for a long time, it's a lot of work. And sometimes I don't want to do it. I'm going to be completely honest. Sometimes I do not want to do it. And every time that I come back to it, I am reminded that this is what matters most to me, right? Having a beautiful wife, having beautiful kids, having a home, right, that has the warmth of our love in it. It's what matters most to me. It's what I look forward to, right? When I wake up in the morning, it's what I enjoy coming back to at the end of the day. And, this society can make other things look really, really important, like our jobs, like our health and all these things. And, our families, our relationships are an essential part of that, right? They're an essential part of the whole equation. So this is a way for you guys to take care of your relationships better. I hope some of it resonates with you. I hope you're able to enact one of them today. If you're thinking, wow, this is a lot, I don't know how I'm going to do it. How am I going to remember these? Here's a hack for you. Make a list of them, write them down. I just said it a couple minutes ago, what the 6 keys were. Write them all down and put them as the background in your phone, right? Or put it on a Post-it note and tape it to the back of your phone. Have it somewhere, put it as a note on your computer screen, whatever it is. Have it somewhere that's easily viewable, right? It's visible. You can just see it there, boom, and be reminded of. And pick one to do. Pick one for the week, right? Okay, this week I'm going to focus on being a fucking amazing listener. I'm going to be an active and willing listener this week. Boom. And for that week, you do that. Maybe another week you're looking for, you're being proactive about ways that you can show her that you love and care about her. Maybe another week is about owning your terms, right? And fulfilling her plan as long as it's not going against your terms, whatever it is. Pick one of them that you can do. And I like doing it for a week, especially in the beginning, because it gives you time to not only execute it, but it also gives you time to screw up and be like, wow, I really did not do that well there. And tomorrow or later this evening, I'm going to do better. So this is one way to start to practice and execute these 6 keys. I am really, really grateful and glad I got to share these with you guys, because it's something that I need to remind myself all the time, Again, this is a distinction that I've learned a long time ago, and it's still something that I go back to. It's still something that I'll end up putting in my phone for a month, right? So that I can do better. It's still something that I have to remind myself of so that I can really nurture and nourish my relationship with my wife. Hope it resonates with you. I hope it's something that you enact today, and I hope it really is able to help bring your relationship to the next level. Help bring your relationship to a level where your partner really feels loved, cared for, and that you really value them and the relationship that you have. All right, that's it for now. Much love to you guys. And until the next episode, stay up.